Hello and welcome everyone. This is going to be an OXY trade breakdown. I know I haven't done many of these YouTube trade breakdown video series in a while. That is because we've been having a night shift review sessions every single weekday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what that is essentially is we all get together in a group chat and one of us plays a trade that we took during the day and we break it down, whether it was a shake, whether it was a good trade. It's pretty much just a night review session as a collective and a group of us tape reading students. And that's just been a lot more valuable and impactful than these content in terms of breaking down a trade for like a pre-recorded video. But so definitely attend those. Those videos are also recorded and put within our Discord for our members, and those are also free. Anybody that's willing to attend the 8 p.m. meeting, just sit there and listen. It's free to everyone at the current moment, so don't miss out on that. And without further ado, let's jump into this. So before we get started, these prints right here are, of significance for our upcoming trade breakdown. 59 ask, way above print personality. Print personality was about 3. So what print personality is what this the stock prints at the levels on average. So in terms of the print personality at the levels, I would say it was about 5 to 6 beforehand, and that's almost reaching it. So once we got this 59, it was almost 3 times or 4 times above print personality. And what that means for us is 59 ask, way above print personality, indicating that the market makers are looking to build on their position. Now we just need to break down time frame. So the substance on these on this move down, I just didn't see anything up until so you just kind of scroll back there. There was really no substance even on this push off of 5750, that psychological level. Didn't really see any substance at the level that really stood out to create a solid game plan off of. The morning didn't see any substance to really be able to create a game plan off of. So that 59 initially was the largest substance that I saw personally. So just going based upon off those, I'm looking to set up a trade, looking to set up a game plan for a high percentage trade. So 59 indicates building. Um, Therefore, looking for a pullback trade, looking for a number one trade. That's our 1 through 4 setups. That's our number one trade. From that much ask at 59, I'm going to be looking for a pullback conservatively to 58, but really should be 57.50. Looking at a reaction here, substance on this whole move wasn't really, significant off-level buying that shows, money is stacking shorter term alongside. That's going to show this is a possible exception, not going to give a proper pullback. So didn't see that as a variable to show like this was going to be a complete exception. Ideal case, we pushed to 60 on no real, shorter term buying, get more ask at 60, and then we proceed to build for that number one short trade back below 59. But overall, have to analyze the substance here, whether we're going to be able to see that shorter term buying to be able to push us up to 60, or we're just going to trigger down if we get the proper selling within this for the pullback to 58 conservatively. 57.50 really should be our price target based upon how much buying was at 59. So with that game plan of overall direction established, we have to identify time frame, right? And what is the biggest tool to use with time frame is off-level prints. And with off-level prints, we're not going to be looking for one or two bursts. We're kind of looking for the overall flow, like there's one burst right there, 59, 30 through 39. That's one burst, but leading up to that point, there hasn't been very many bursts like that. That's off-level buying of substance like that. So I mean, that's kind of almost out of the ordinary for what this has been printing. So really want to get a idea of the complete flow in terms of off-level, shorter-term prints, and really haven't seen that one way or the other. It's been there hasn't been any clear decision in my from what I've seen from the market makers showing what the shorter term day traders are showing. There's just not showing one clear direction overall. We want something that's definitive, something that's going to be higher percentage for us to understand, is 59 going to build, or is it going to be an exception? And at this point, I can't put a percentage to either one based upon off-level prints. So just going to be analyzing here, kind of entering consolidation up here above 59, volume dip. At this point, am I setting my order up? No, above 59, I'm not, because I'm just not seeing, the proper selling above here to show that this is going to be they're shortening it to go back down to 58, but I'm also not seeing the buying in this instance to show that they're going to push it to 60. It's kind of that weird middle ground where there could go either way at this point. Like we could very well enter a volume pattern here and just rip to 60. So I'm just looking for the high percentage substance to really, show one way or the other. And in this instance, truly don't have that. So I don't have an order set up yet. Still looking for that confirmation one way or the other, whether it's greater term selling on the shorter term side of things or accumulation to show that they're going to go higher. So like this trigger down here, what has the substance been on this trigger down? Haven't really seen a whole lot of prints. I mean, there's been a lot more in between prints than anything. So substance on that bar is not something to follow, in my opinion. Yes, 59 says we need to build because how much it was above print personality, but overall, the off level on that trigger really didn't give us anything. That's just price action. There's really nothing behind that in terms of substance to really show us. And it makes sense why it comes right back because the substance just truly wasn't there in terms of selling for that to be a true trigger down. So just kind of in this consolidation, larger consolidation, whatever you want to call it. But overall, the substance on this move up from 57, again, probably repeating myself, but really didn't have any standout buying in terms of off level to show that, there's a lot of shorter term positions that are looking to make money that are going to give us an indication that the market maker at 59 is not going to build a ton. And we just haven't seen that. So mass there at 59.50, nothing really true significant forward prints there. Really doesn't change our game plan at all. I know when I called this out in the chat today, I said ideal case here is we push to 60 on minimal substance with the prints below that say it needs to build. Push to 60, we get more aspirants at 60, and then we use that psychological level of 60 for our number one short trade back to 58. But in this instance, that's high percentage case scenario, but very well could trigger down here if we get the right substance. But again, just looking at the tape, has there been a clear story in terms of off level? It's clear as day what 59 says. They were above print personality on the ask side of things. Overall, that market maker needs to push the stock to 60 to make money on that 59 position. But the sheer size of that position indicated to us that they're looking to build first. Now, transitioning to the off level, what else is present? I mean, just really nothing of clarity. So at this point, we're just waiting. So this is the part of the game that you play that you set your game plan up, and now you're just looking and seeking the rest of the information to give you that extra confirmation for your trade. Because right now, if we just take a short off of 59 back under 59, what's our percentage of that without the supporting prints? Maybe 60% if we're just taking based upon the aspirants of 59 that need to build. But we want to set ourselves up for a higher percentage trade. And how do we do that? Off level prints is the hugest one. Show the shorter term positions that are money flow to show that they're establishing short positions to make money to the downside. Lack of new buying. I don't want to see new buying or new shorter term positions that show that they need to make money and they're looking for. That's going to say that our pullback's going to be a lot quicker. I don't want to see positions like that for the overall number one short trade. I'd rather it completely build rather than a short build. So those two case scenarios come to mind. Obviously, the further it gets away from where it needs to be, the higher percentage the trade is going to be. So if it gets to 60, obviously our percentage is going to be higher for a short there than at 59 in this area. So those are the things that straight away come to mind. We know this sector has been hot. We know that it's been trading every single day pretty much, and it's been giving us a good range. So definitely you need to be very mindful of the fact that this could very well run. Is the substance behind it match? Move to 60? It really doesn't. Why wouldn't if 59 was going to be a shorter term build? Why wouldn't they accumulate here above 59 if this thing was going to run to 60 plus? You would see shorter term positions step in. So not just one burst. You'd see maybe 4 or 5 different bursts of 3 or 4 step in and show that they're looking to make money to the upside. And it's going to be shorter term money because if stock's going to move $1, you're going to see those shorter term day traders come in and follow that game plan. But in this instance, we're not seeing that, and the substance on the way up wasn't very much. So now I like those 59.03s. That's starting to see that selling come in, that shorter term selling above 59 there. Is it enough for me to follow that position short? Absolutely not. That's not enough. To me, that says we have the ability to break 59, but that's not enough to follow short to a complete move back to 58. We really want to see a short-term position come in and shit and like just show themselves and say, hey, we know 59 needs to build, so we're just gonna make money to the short side and we're gonna follow that game plan of what the market maker said. I'm not worried about these volume patterns. I'm not worried about any of this just consolidation or noise. Like all it is we're just looking for the prints within this substance right here, within above 59, to show us what is high percentage building or an exception to run. And if it's an exception to run, that's going to be our number 4 trade. And not really seeing this at all at the current moment, right? I mean, the buying above 59 in terms of off level is just non-existent. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's automatically a number 1 short trade for them to build. You still need to see those positions come in on the shorter term, bid side of things to show that they're shorting the position to make money to the downside. And that's exactly what we're looking for at this point. So again, price action, not for us. We're looking for the substance. And from the substance, we can create our game plan. But overall, 59 says it needs to pull back to 58 conservatively. It really should be 57.50. So, I mean, this bar down, not surprising at all. Fits into the hand of the market maker needing a build, and boom, look at those 58, 61s. At that point, 61 being a quicker time frame, I'm looking to take the short. I'm following this position, and a quick pull up here I'm expecting, but that's not going to be much. Coming at 58.61 like that's a position that's coming in to make money and make money now to the short side. Price target 58.61, 58 very conservative. I'm following this a trigger down off this quick pull. I'm following it down. That's a short position to me. They at 61 itself needs to make at least $1. So, and then on top of that, 59 needing to pull back $1. We can see that this stock come back to that 57.50 print line. So follow that trigger in. I would have been in already. Probably 58, similar to that position I would have followed in. I would have been in the 58.60 region on that quick pull up that we had. I would prepare my order and follow that position. And I mean, just think about how big that off level position, shorter term time frame was that we've seen the whole time up, right? Like, there was no positions of that size on the ask or bid side in terms of off levels. It was at a 6.61, which tells us that's shorter term time frame of things, and that's difficulty to trade. It's not easy to print that much at a 61 level like that. So followed that position in, clear as day, fit exact picture of our market maker, right? 59 told us build to the short side. We were just looking for confirmation of that. We never got the confirmation above in terms of selling. Because if that position came in above 59, ooh, beautiful. We would follow that in and we would have a better position. We'd be in above 59, but that never came. Got a trigger down, and the substance for them to show that they're shorting came in on that trigger below 59, and that's okay because we got a quick little pull up and then we followed short as soon as it triggered back down. And 58 really is a very conservative price target. Wouldn't be surprised here if we go to 57.50 or even further down. Just the fact that 61 position alone, my calculations say that should make at least $1 to the downside. So this is a trade that I took today. Still not out. No reason to get out. Haven't seen any new information to show me that I need to get out. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying the camera. It's a new little aspect to the videos. But overall, I mean, we set up a game plan and we were looking for the variables for which game plan the market makers were going to show. Never saw the shorter term off level buying above or below 59 to show there was going to be an exception and run to 60. Triggered below 59. Some exceptional short position at 0.61 that we followed in. We hit our conservative price target, but there's no reason for us to get out. There's a couple bursts above 58 that show ability to break back under 58. There's nothing that really told us on the tape to really get out of this position yet. But yeah, it shows, overall understanding what the market maker's intentions were at 59, and then we were just looking for the variables to align to tell us the time frame was now. And and you end up getting beautiful trades like this when you set up a game plan and then you look for the proper variables and then you get high percentage shorter term trader coming in at 61 like that. That's not something that I could execute. That's not something many traders could execute. I mean, let alone that 61 level probably doesn't even have enough shares for them to execute that amount of size at that level. But no covering or anything in terms of on the tape. Covering would appear as buying. I haven't seen any of that position of that 61 come out yet, so no reason for us to get out either. It's interesting how these recording and these videos are a lot harder for me to do than it is, talking in those night shift reviews with everyone and people asking questions. So much easier to interact with people than having to come up with your own thought process on, these solo review sessions or solo videos I do for YouTube. But boom, there's our real price target, double bottom here. This is where I'd look to be a possible spot to take off. We know that's a spot of traffic there, and 5750 being a psychological level. Odds are we get a bounce here. If not, we get continuation. We take it, but that's a spot for beautiful move here. But overall, that's a spot just to be weary of, to take some off, or to see that covering, just to transition 57 bids. I mean, come on. You're telling me that person at 58.61 didn't know this move was coming? I mean, they just made it so obvious. They were way above print personality than what the tape had showed beforehand. It was at a 61, which is off level, and that's difficulty of trade. I mean, they printed more at 58.61 than they did at 59.50. I mean, that shows you what the intentions were right there. And then initially, that whole move to 59 was, it wasn't necessarily hollow, but the substance truly wasn't there to show that the shorter term traders were adamant about this whole move up, and that presented itself from the tape. So when we got those 59 assets at build and no short term buying above and below, I mean, you just can't take that short. And then we look for you can't take that long, excuse me, and then we look for the short term short variables for this to come back down. And that 58.61 was the reason that we got into this, because if that wasn't there, the substance truly wouldn't be there on the short side of things to follow. Yes, it needs to build, but we also want to see some shorter term positions to follow to a high percentage. And I mean, come on. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Truly, these are gifts. When you do the right things and you set up the right game plans, you take trades like this, and then you just get beautiful gifts like this. Set up conservative price target was 58, and then real price target was 57, and it blew past that too as well. And at this point, we're just setting up our trade management. But for the sake of keeping this video short for YouTube, I do appreciate all of you tuning in, and I'll try to make some more of these for content for those not in our community or in our night shift reviews, to really have these to look back upon. So hope you have a wonderful night, and yeah, enjoy.